Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Sometimes a voice can strike you and it can cause a moment to freeze in time. You remember that sound. You remember exactly where you were, and the song, which was called Neverland, in my case, makes you want more. So I'm going to listen to Marillion now on the channel to the space for the first time. Let's get to it. One, I love the concert footage from Royal Albert Hall. It is just always great. Love the sound quality, everything. I hope I get to see a concert there someday. What an amazing venue. Two, I love strings. I love them so much. We got the flute in there too, and I was like, oh my gosh, are we just going straight classical here? Because that is my jam from way back when. Like, my new jam is rock and metal, yeah, but also, I mean, I've always been jamming into the classical music and the acapella. I love it. Okay, I'm excited to see where this goes. But three, thank you, Digibirder, for getting me into Marillion. This is so cool. Okay, back to beginning. I like the font too. Weird? I like the font. It's so classy. So classical. So we're going to listen to this intro a few times. One of the things that I think makes good writing for string instruments stand out is when each line is singing. It's not this line has a lead and all of these others are supporting. This is one of the reasons I like some of the more progressive music and metal. I want each instrument to be its own person, to have its own voice. Yes, they come together in something glorious. The uniting of sounds is very, very powerful. I love the way when you listen to just one of these instruments, the way it sings on its own, it's beautiful. The individualism that is then combined is glorious. There's this kind of there's so much pleading in each instrument. It sounds like almost like we've got a fugue going here. We'll have one line introduced by one instrument, another instrument will pick it up. It's not quite following exactly the trends of a fugue. It's a little bit more modern than Bach, obviously, but it's being picked up in different instruments and shown, like, highlighted in a different way. It's really pretty and much more complex, and definitely not what I was expecting. Love the doubling of the high flute and low string. I also love the doubling in the horn there and the flute. This is one of the softest kinds of horns, right? There's a gentleness that it can have where it's more cushiony rather than just brassy, heroic, in your face, I have succeeded, I'm victorious. Instead, there was a mournful element to this, which worked very well for this particular theme. Tremolo! What? Was that just like a little interlude on this song? I don't know. Maybe that was just chapter 1 or this was the intro. I'm not sure. It was lovely. His voice is so striking. It is so distinguished. It has like in the way that if you hear Ozzy Osbourne's voice once, if you've gotten to know it just a little bit, you will always be able to pick out his voice. Steve Hogarth's voice here, it has a signature stamp on the sound that you're just not going to find somewhere else. But it's also a lot more full. It isn't like it's hanging out in like one tiny area. Instead, it has lots of different elements that make it this signature sound that I find very, very pleasing. There's an incredible focus on his sound. He has like so many overtones in it. So if I was to look at this inside of Isotope RX, for example, it shows a spectrum of frequencies, and I could see the actual pitch that he's singing, and then all of these different really bright lines above it that indicate that pitch that's made at the vocal folds, it comes up and then it goes ping, 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 all around here. And as it hits different areas, different shapes, they will highlight different aspects of the pitch and give rise to enhancing certain overtones so that we'll hear an octave, maybe 2 octaves above. There's a fifth in there as well. There's a whole bunch of different, like almost like phantom notes that are on top of the original pitch. And those phantom, like sort of echoes of the pitch that are above, they create this sort of shiny, shimmering nature to this sound. They can create a certain buzz to it. That's the kind of thing that opera singers often really target with training, or anybody that's trying to learn to sing out over an orchestra. There's even something called a singer's formant, where I think they hit around the 12th to 14th overtone and try to enhance those extra, because that means that their sound can be heard over the orchestra. The orchestra isn't going to be creating those overtones up there, but a voice can, or at least they won't be creating them as loudly as a voice is capable of doing. So I hear this incredible focus on the sound where it's gone ping, 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 and then it's threaded through this area of his mouth. Like it's got so much, we've taken this beast full of overtones and like almost twirled it very finely into rope that's coming out. It's just an amazing sound. There's more to it that I'm going to talk about later, I promise. That's such a cool... Is that a synth in the background? It almost sounds like a synth combined with an arhu. Huh. Very mournful. So just immediately when he starts, to me, I hear definitely an octave and 2 octaves above. So crazy present in his sound. It's just buzzy. When you sing beside a person like this in real life, a lot of times if you're singing similar notes or notes that have a beautiful harmony together and you have overtones in your voice as well, you can feel the overtones combine out in the air around you, and it feels like it's almost like shaking, buzzes your face off. It's such an incredible experience. Ah. The other thing that just strikes me so much is this sort of gravel that's inherent in his sound. Maybe this is so shocking to me because that kind of overtone set in my mind is so rarely accompanied by gravel. You just don't hear that in opera singers. Yeah, you hear that in rock singers, but then it feels like I didn't know. I would have thought that the gravel would just have kind of diminished the sparkly of the overtone that's happening there, because you have to have like a very, very efficient sound. And I would wonder if the sound waves essentially would be destructive of each other, but not in his case, not at all. A crazy combination to me. Such good vibes. Gosh, the emotion, and he just wrecked it and kept going. It tore at me somehow. I don't know. Sometimes they're just voices. I think this can be a very personalized thing. Sometimes they're just voices that strike you. You go, whoa! What was that? I don't know why it is that his voice just cuts through to me so hard. Maybe it's overtones. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a little bit of magic. I think that science will eventually explain what that magic is. Maybe in the future we'll have some incredible AI replication of his voice, and we'll be able to study that forever and ever and ever, and eventually figure out what it is exactly that made that voice just cut through straight to a person like Elizabeth. But I don't know. It does something special.
It didn't feel a thing. He just wrecked it and kept going.
There's so much cry.
The space around the stars is something that you know. A billion miles of darkness left you feeling love. The space around the stars is something that you know.
I have a feeling that one of the reasons that I like this so much is because of the melodic writing. It is more rangy. I feel like he's just making more use of his range. It soars. The melody goes and then like floats and just kind of keeps going there. It feels more classical in the melodic elements than a lot of other songs that I've heard, definitely in contemporary music. The way he also continues to hover, continues to sustain, and has just a really nice even vibrato. I think all of it mixes into something that is very, very appealing to me. Oh, also, I love how we got into this particular section, and it suddenly felt like, well, maybe it's because I see space, but it felt like we were flying through space. Suddenly everything, I felt like the sound came from everywhere behind me. I guess in space it would actually be quiet, but meaning that I felt like I was floating in a universe full of gaseous substances that create stars.
Something that you know.
So beautiful and full. Glory.
A billion miles of darkness left you feeling love.
So pretty.
The space around the stars is something that you know. But everything about you is so perfectly restrained.
The vocal expression is just fantastic. Right? There are moments when he adds a cry. I like that he has long phrases, and then in the long phrase, he'll do something very different. There's a kinship here, I think, in the phrasing and the expression shift within a phrasing to Dio, who you guys know I'm just like head over heels for Dio. But it definitely has this element in operatic singing where you'll sing a long line and then you'll give a little cherry on top at the moment, but you aren't taking a breath or switching it up there. And he did that right here, so perfectly restrained.
Everything about you is so perfectly restrained.
That shrug there.
Everything inside you binds you.
Wow. Wow, I love when he went down into that lower part, he purposely took off some of those bright, shiny overtones, went for a much more breathy sound, a sound that felt almost like fog coming up, as if maybe we were, I don't know, in The Little Mermaid on the boat, right? And there was part where we felt like everything was swirling around us, like maybe there was a night sky in there too. But then right here, the fog all raised up, and it feels, it's almost tactile the way his voice is filling the space, right? It created this haze around us.
So perfectly restrained that everything inside you binds
Strange waltz. Almost like some sort of twisted circus. Huh. Oh. Calling back to that earlier part now. I am really loving the light show that I see in the background. Again, this just seems like such a gorgeous venue for a concert. Wow. 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 Okay, we're going to come back a little bit. Also, maybe rings for a ring toss in a circus. Right? It's the way that they move through different chapters, that progressive nature is also very appealing to me and feels more like it's part of a song cycle than any sort of contemporary genre. Pretty. Ooh. So I like the way that when we had that build in the orchestra, it felt like we got just a slight increase in the tempo, made my heart beat a little bit faster. And the way that the orchestra built, it lent itself into an electronic guitar solo. I think more and more about how these things can combine. Other people have already done it, but it is still fairly a new idea to me of let's put orchestra with electronically amplified instruments. It was sort of a big no-no for a long time, right? And I like that there was a drastic build that then spilled over into the electric guitar. The electric guitar has such an advantage with the amp and with the edginess and the distortion on it. It has many elements that are going to push that sound out in front of an acoustic orchestra. And I think that means that the orchestra has to reach a certain level in order to spill into it. Otherwise, it's going to just feel like a really, really jagged transition. Back one more time there. Of course, the chorus is awesome too. Such a cool fade into the higher one there.
Everybody in the whole of the world feels the same inside. Everybody in the whole of the whole of the whole of the world. Everyone is only everyone else. Everybody's got to know. Everybody lives and loves and laughs and cries and eats and sleeps and grows and dies. Everybody in the whole of the world.
I'm getting some like Pink Floyd vibes in here too. I love the way they let it settle and then let his voice just soar, take over. His voice is so extraordinary. You can tell I almost like this thinking face when I hear it and I go, wow, whoa, wow, whoa. It's just amazing to me. I like the way he's essentially written in an echo on this. I love the way that there's so much emotional impact, this sort of drop that happens there. It feels like there's conviction both in the lyrics and his voice. I'm gonna go back here. Is this a little further? Right there.
Feels the same inside. Everybody in the whole of the whole of the whole of the world.
He's doing this really interesting sort of like creak into the sound on a bunch of the things, and it's always on H's, which is an ideal concept because an H isn't actually voiced as well. It's he uses that to get back into the sound over and over. You know, here I don't know what age he is here. He's definitely over what most people would consider prime singing age, right? I hear what I think are a little bit some signs of aging, but here's the thing. A lot of times when people age, they'll start like getting a certain brittleness to the sound and they'll start to lose some of those overtones. It's like, how does this guy have so many overtones? When he starts in here right away, you just got this buzz, 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 buzz. It's insane. That's also a very, very healthy sign for his voice too. Crazy good. Hit all those drums. I like the different drums that he goes through there. Little journey.
Everybody in the whole of the world feels the same inside. Everybody in the whole of the whole of the whole of the world.
Wow.
Everyone is only everyone else.
Such a good line. Everyone is only...
Everybody's got to know.
There's that written in action. Like this melody is beautiful. And I love the way that there are written in effects in it. I love the lyrics. Everybody in the whole of the world, or everyone is only everyone else. That one. That's so like such a good line to promote some community responsibility. Yes, please. But the idea that of this, the way it's set, it lets a conviction in the voice through right away. But it also has this effect of the echo. So not only have you heard it once, but it almost feels like when we get that echo back from him, that it's driving it home a few additional times. Such cool writing.
Everybody in the whole of the world feels the same inside. Everybody in the whole of the whole of the whole of the world. Everyone is only everyone else. Everybody's got to know. Everybody lives and loves and laughs and cries and eats and sleeps and grows and dies.
so glorious and satisfying to hear. The message is beautiful. I just have to hop in here and say, if he'd wanted a career in opera, I think he could have nailed it. Often it's voices like this that just have so much ability to cut through, that can sing on a stage over an orchestra with no amplification whatsoever into the back row of a theater that has 4,000 people in it. Like that's the size of the Met. Somebody that does not have a mic being able to reach somebody at the back with so much presence. You have to have tons and tons of overtones and power as well in the voice. But it's just, the overtones are key. It's brilliant to hear in this setting.
Everybody's got to know. Whoa. Everybody lives and loves and laughs and cries and eats and sleeps and grows and dies. Everybody in the whole world feels the same inside. Everybody in the whole and everyone is only everyone else. Everybody's got to know. Everybody loves and loves and laughs and cries and eats and sleeps and grows and dies. Everybody.
Wow. The way he's using his hands there and the expression, it's so beautiful. He really lets it tumble over. His voice is so affected, and it feels like it's coming definitely inside out. It's almost like it starts to go a little bit mad. The emotion feels like it's flowing over the voice at this point and taking us somewhere else.
And everyone is only everyone else. Everybody's got to know. Everybody loves and loves and laughs and cries and eats and sleeps and grows and dies. Everybody in the whole of the world. In the whole of the world.
Good falsetto flip. Wow. It sounds like he actually like lets it fray there. So he's flipping into falsetto on the top there. But it sounds like there's a little fraying happen, which normally I would say like, hey, don't do too much of that. That's not good to do a lot of, but a soul moment to give extra expression in a song. Yeah, sure. Bring me the feels, please. Wow. So what I was talking about with the emotion tumbling into his voice, that's what he just did at the end. That's what it sounds like when the voice can no longer just project pure, clean tones. It starts to almost like close up with the emotion, and you get this sound that most people wouldn't dare to make because they would think it sounds ugly, right? But that's what makes it so beautiful and human, right? It's our flaws that make us, I think, truly gorgeous. So people without flaws you have to watch out for, or that you think don't have flaws. Everybody's got flaws. So I like the way that he essentially exposes holes here. That's intense. I'm gonna go back here one more time. Is this the kind of distortion that is healthy, totally separate from your vocal folds? No. No, 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 no. This sounds like it's being truthful double. It is fraying apart. Again, this isn't something that I would tell somebody to regularly practice by no, like just no. That would probably cause some vocal damage. But when you let moments of emotion flow like this for the message, just in select spots, you have to be a little bit careful, okay? He has so much experience. I'm sure he knows where that line is. Then it can be done carefully and well to create this total, like, distraught sound. Wow. And it's intentional. Wow. That's beautiful. This is so epic, from just a few strings to shredding vocal folds at the end. Wow. Such an amazing journey. And I love that all through it, we just heard this conviction the entire time from a voice that had some of the best overtones I think I've ever heard in contemporary music. Jeez, I love it. If you want to see some more analysis of voices that I feel just strike, voices that get into your heart right away, check out this playlist over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.